Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys have had an amazing week. Today we're bringing something different. We're bringing something we pondered about our relationship, about each other, and we were kind of pulled to answer questions, to allow you guys to get to know us a little better, and also allow us to kind of get to know each other a little better.
On a deeper level.
Yeah, as you guys know, we've been together forever, but it's pretty interesting to just be able to ask questions to one another, to see how we've grown, to see how things maybe have changed in our relationship.
And I think it's also a cool way to like encourage even couples that follow us, whether you're in married or not married, to kind of like look at, we like just search the internet for these questions, so we're not like marriage professionals or gurus. These are just questions that we thought, hey, like maybe we haven't asked one, or maybe we should revisit and, you know, see where we're at now, 7 years in or like 12 years in. So we encourage you, if you guys want to do the same thing with your partner, go for it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy what we're about to answer. The truth, the raw truth.
My hands are super clean. So, first question. Dun, dun, dun. What was your first impression of me?
Okay. So I met Melina when she was 15 years old. Like I said, like we said before, 12 years. So Melina was young.
Man, you aging me now.
Well, you're 15. You were. Hey, you asked the question. Melina, you know, you're funny. You haven't even aged. You haven't really aged a lot. You look almost the same. And I might even put a picture of you up here. She looks exactly the same, yo. Melina and I met at my cousin's quinceañera. So this wasn't like a out and about type thing. We weren't at a mall. We weren't, you know, it was a very, you know, like celebratory social gathering. I was suited.
Family.
Yeah, like it was my cousin, so it was my whole family was there. Melina was one of my cousin's best friends. So, you know, she was dressed up, I was suited up, and I remember when I saw her, I was just like, yo, that girl's super beautiful. I'd really like to get to know her. She had a beautiful smile. You seem very sympathetic, which I love that. And
keep going.
and I was just excited to get to know you. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. So my first impression, I thought he was like super cocky. Cause he was you had your hair like a little longer, kind of like this, but he would have it like, think of like Goku or like Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I mean, that was the style, I guess, but so it was like that. He was standing, we were sitting on the same table, me and my girls, because I went to high school with his cousin. So it was me and the girls, we were talking, blah, 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 blah. And he was like diagonally on the other side of the table, and he was with his cousins and the friends and whatever. And he was all like, you know, Rico Suave with his cup, you know, like soda probably. So yeah, my first impression of you was he's super handsome, he's super cute. He had a very nice smile, but yes, he seemed cocky.
Yo, I want to add on to yours now. You were super shy.
Yeah?
Yeah, you were super shy.
I was probably nervous.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. She was shy though. Yeah, and complicated. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Ooh, your best feature. So your opinion of your best feature, and then my opinion of my best feature.
Okay, so
Go.
I think my best feature is my legs.
He does have some nice legs.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Genetics have been kind to my legs, man. I don't know. I honestly, I really think.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Jesus. No, but honestly, I really do think that like my legs have they're a good part of my body. Thank God, man, I've never had like leg issues, leg problems. So yeah, I do think that my legs are probably one of my best features. They've carried me for almost 30 years. But
You're old. I would say I love my hair. I think that's my best feature.
I do think your hair is definitely.
I think it's
very
definitely
nice.
like a signature part of me. Like when people see me, they see my hair. And this is not to say like I do my hair all the time. Like this is just my normal hair. Ponytails, my hair down. I can blow dry my hair or straighten it. Like that's it, you know, messy buns, like that's it. Baby hair's crazy but I don't know, there's something about it that's just unique.
We've talked about what we believe is our best feature. Now the next question is, what's your best feature for me? And what's my best feature for you?
There's so many.
Yeah, baby.
I've always loved your eyes. So I think that's it for me. Your eyes or your smile, it's like a tie.
Okay.
Yeah, your eyes or your smile. Even Taz agrees.
You agree, buddy?
He's like, aww.
Maybe like question under the question. Is it like my eye color? Or is it like the shape of my eyes?
I love everything about it. Like I can stare into your eyes. I love the eye color. Look at this guy, he's getting hot.
Somebody put a fan on.
I love your eye color. I love the shape of your eye. I love like how they're proportioned.
Okay,
You know,
baby.
like it's not like one eye is bigger than the other. They're not too close, they're not too wide. I love the eye shape. I love your eyelashes, your eyebrow, like everything
Thanks,
that
baby.
has to do with this, like they all work beautifully together.
So what I think is Melina's best feature for me is hands down like
I'm scared.
her butt.
I knew it.
Your best feature for me, believe it or not, is actually your eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. Jinx. Copycat.
Whatever. I agree. I actually really think Melina has beautiful eyes.
What is it now?
So
question
the shape of your eyes is probably the biggest thing. And it's really funny, but if you guys actually look at Mashita has Melina's eyes. Her eye shape. But Melina's eyes, the shape of her eyes is really, really what makes her eyes stick out most. Melina has really dark eyes. Like if you were to look into my eyes, I have like a light brown eyes. Melina's eyes are super dark. They're really strong. They really stare into your soul. That's pretty much what I would say. And Melina actually has really nice eyebrows. They're nice and thick. They're nice and dark. And yeah, you have an amazing shape. True.
Thanks, boo.
Kuda points. Next question. What were your nicknames growing up?
Oh, I think I had a lot. So my name is Melina Andrea. I would be called Andrea. My sister would call me Andrea. Meli. My dad used to call me Flaquindengue, which is just a cute way of saying like skinny.
Flaca.
When I was, like flaca. But it was just like, you know, his spin on it. My mom would call me Melinita.
Okay.
Yeah, but they kind of stood around negra, negrita, but like in Spanish, like that's a word of endearment.
Yeah.
So don't get offended.
My sister, while I was growing up, I used to be this really chubby kid. So my oldest sister, Natalia, she used to call me Chetes, which was short for cachetes, which meant that I had really big cheeks. That was probably like the first nickname I think that I ever got. And even till this day, she still calls me Chetes. Then another one is one of my uncles, my cousin's dad. He used to always call me Travieso. So, which I think is more of a reference to like, if you guys know like Dennis the Menace. Well, in Colombia, South America, and Latin American countries, Dennis is not the name that they use for that show. It's Daniel, which is my name. So for him, he always really found that link. Daniel el Travieso, Daniel el Travieso. I used to get into everything. I actually used to have a really bad attitude. So yeah, I was definitely like what you would call like a menacey kid. But I think growing up, Danny is pretty much what stuck. Is that really, like, would you really consider that a nickname?
Yeah, because it's not your name. Your government. Like, we don't call each other by our names. Like, you'll hardly hear him say Melina unless he's like talking about me to someone else. Like, hey, my wife Melina, or Melina did this, you know? And same with him. Like, I'll even when I talk about you, I say Danny. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'll introduce him as Daniel, and sometimes I introduce you as Danny too. Yeah. It's so weird to say Daniel. Like, it's so weird. Sometimes I like forget that that's his name.
Question number 5.
Wait, my turn. Ooh. Favorite memory of us. That's hard.
And you start realizing, like, you know, like, we've been married for 7 years, so I think that's a fair amount of time. But we've been in each other's life for over a decade. So there's a lot of memories.
It's almost half my life.
Dang, that is half your life. Way to age yourself, though. First of all, the beginning. Like, when Melina and I met, that night was super duper special. I think it was definitely like highlight, like, we couldn't have asked for like a better way to meet. You know, we both love to dance. Being Colombians, like, traditions, like the things that comes with being a Colombian, like dancing and the food and the culture, like those traditions, they really do mold us. And I think the fact that you and I came both from Colombian families that are very much like that really helped us connect in a very different way.
Yeah. I think that's a very important part. Like, our families kept tradition and culture like so heavy, and like it never went away, even living in America. So that was appreciative. And then we grew up, even when we were in New York, we grew up in a place where it was like mostly like Latinos and mostly Colombian, so it was always around us. So that was I appreciate that. But yes, continue.
So I think definitely that memory, we danced the night away. We really clicked that night, and it really cemented us, I think, to be where we are right now, because you and I always kind of knew that we'd end up together, even though we went our separate ways and we dated other people, but we always kind of came back to each other. The second memory, I'm just gonna say it, and then if it's something you'd like to go into, go for it. But
that's not my favorite memory.
This is one of our favorites.
Okay.
Our engagement.
Yeah. That was dope.
I'm just gonna say that. And then I think, you mean, out of, man, so many, but I think when we found out we were pregnant.
That was pretty dope.
Like, that memory, of course, having Gita, that memory is just one of a kind. Melina, I'm sure someday will make a video about like her birth story and how things went for her, and of course, like, I'll pitch in, but that was definitely a moment, I think, for you. But that memory is amazing. But I really think that both nights that we found out that we were pregnant, even after our miscarriage, like, so cool, man. Like, just joy, like pure joy. And it was amazing.
Yeah. Any other ones?
Yeah.
Okay, but like those. But
yeah. Okay. Just the ones that came to my mind that I.
So you did like 3.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I have to agree when we got pregnant, but I think during our pregnancy we had so many like just good, fun memories. Like, my pregnancy was so much fun, and I think like we just had a blast. But like birth, like, that was so cool. Like, just having, like, it was just a new experience for both of us, and like we were both in it and we were both new in it, so we like, that was cool. Memories in Hawaii, like, that was pretty awesome. The first time I saw you in Hawaii, So I went to school.
Wow, that's specific, yo.
So he was already stationed in Hawaii. I went for a semester to study. So I was already in my dorm and everything. And maybe like the second day, he came to visit me, and we hadn't seen each other in a long time, maybe a year.
Which it's a fairly long time.
It's a fairly long time for us.
We grew up with each other, so yeah.
And so it was like nighttime, it was getting dark, and he calls me downstairs. So I go downstairs. I'm like pooping myself because I'm so nervous. And Mimi doesn't know this, but I was so nervous to see you. I didn't know what to expect, we weren't officially together. So it was one of those things that like we were both single, but we knew that we had love for each other. And obviously I was still like in love with him, but we weren't together. But it was just a lot of butterflies. And then he had his truck, so he was outside of his truck with a penguin and with a rose. Until this day, I still have Penguin, but his name is Baby. And yeah, like just that moment of like, we see eye to eye, and it was like, but yeah, I think like big moments, those were pretty big moments for me. And like, our engagement was, but I feel like I can't explain our engagement just because maybe we should do another video on it.
Yeah.
Because not only that, like I love our engagement, and that was one of like our best memories, but I feel like that's his story to share.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's your story to share.
Maybe I'll make another video about it. Give me that. I'm next. So this is answering these first is like hard, man.
These are really deep questions. I was just writing them down, but these are intense.
Man, turning points.
She's up.
Alright, so we had a little interruption. Majida woke up, so she's here, she's feeding right now. We're gonna continue. We're probably gonna have to turn this into a 2-part video. What are some turning points in your life?
I want to say definitely when I got pregnant. That was a huge turning point, I think, in anyone's life. When you're this, single individual, and now you have the responsibility for an actual human being.
Yeah.
That was a really big turning point. I think another turning point was when I decided that I didn't want to pursue forensics because I felt like I was listening to the outside noise and like people saying, oh, well, you're gonna regret it. That's a waste. You just wasted a whole bunch of time and money and, all that negative stuff. Man. And I got a lot of like backlash about that. And
it was just one.
Oh, sorry. I could have kept going on that.
I'll share 2 as well. Moving to the United States. So I moved to the United States when I was 8, turning 9. I was still very young. I grew up with my mom and my brother. So when we came to the States, it was just the 3 of us. People might think like, well, you were so young, like did it really take an effect? But of course, I mean, we left everything back there. The family that I knew, we had to learn a new language. My parents, culture shock for sure. My parents were divorced, so that meant that my dad was still in Colombia, so I wasn't gonna see him as often. So it was definitely a big change, a turning point in my life when we moved to the States. Another big turning point was when I decided to join the military. I was 19. I felt I was getting a late start in life. I was a super senior. I got left back from school twice. So yeah, when I decided to join the military, that was like before I graduated school. That was literally just like a last resort. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to do none of that. So yeah, I think we'd be super down to do a part 2.
So stay tuned.
Yeah. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. God bless you guys and peace.
coming.